Okay, so for breakfast, Monday morning, I gotta figure out what my day is. We are having oatmeal cake, and I am using some of this freezer. I used this applesauce in there. I made a bunch of this last year, if you remember, and then I put it in the freezer. So this is a applesauce cinnamon oatmeal cake, and if anybody wants, they can top it on top of their breakfast. My daughter, who is going into like this candida diet, is going to have some eggs. Again, kid ate it, so I gotta make more. Some eggs and some blackberries for breakfast. And for me, for breakfast, I have coffee, oat milk, and my stevia drops. That's what we're having for breakfast. Okay, so for lunch today, we finished up some refried beans and some rice. We have plenty of rice here. Some kids had leftover beef broccoli and rice. Can't really show. I've got kids here. I'm eating bean and rice casserole with a little bit of the sour cream and onion. And Johnny, what are you eating?
I don't know.
Homemade granola?
Yeah.
So the homemade granola is the leftover oatmeal cake with milk on top.
It's good, isn't it?
And that's what we're having
That's
for lunch. Alright, so for dinner tonight, it's not completely done, but I have some hungry kids. No air fryer mushrooms, but just wait. Okay, so this is keema. This is made with one of the organic grass-fed ground beef that we got from the Aldi haul that a friend sent us. And I've been hoarding it because, I mean, grass-fed beef is kind of a specialty here. So I wanted to make sure that it was, you know, a good treat. So tonight we're doing keema, which is Pepper and Pine's recipe. She no longer has a video up. She's kind of shut down her channel. But I've had it, and she shared it with me. And we actually, the first time we went and visited her, she made this for me. So a lot of nostalgia to it. It takes 2 pounds of ground beef. But again, just wanting to stretch the beef, so I added some pinto beans to it. And then I believe you're supposed to serve this on top of rice. However, my daughter added the rice to it, saying, no, this is how she remembers it. It's rice. It doesn't matter. It's food, right? So with that, we also have, these are the last of the food bank's asparagus. I think that is still some turmeric, but anyway, in the keema there's ginger and turmeric, and that's kind of what flavors it really good, among other things. This is the asparagus, the last from the food truck. It's a pretty good size. They'll give everybody a serving. I used 3 bags, but I would say about maybe a third of all of that was tossed out, just slimy, icky, gross. So the equivalent, I would say, of 2 bags. And then I have some of the Thrive Market mushrooms that I cooked up here. However, I think I'm going to set this aside and save it for another day. I love mushrooms and eggs and zucchini, so I think I might save it for that, because this handsome boy is making one of our favorites. Well, it's our favorites from a gas station, so we were like, let's make it more healthy and better. So he's making some fried mushrooms. My sister sent me this air fryer, so it's like, hey, let's try it. So I'm really looking forward to that. So after that long spiel, this is what's for dinner, and I'm looking forward to it. Okay, so for breakfast today, Tuesday morning, I pulled out of the freezer some of these butterscotch pumpkin muffins that I had made previously. So I pulled those out. We have some kefir that, I don't know, I honestly don't know if we even need this, but I pulled it out because it looked really good and I actually just want a little cup. I have a yogurt here. I know I've mentioned this before, but I really like this yogurt. It is very light in the sweetness, and it just has a good richness to it. So I don't know if we can figure out how to bottle this up and buy it or what, or if this is a certain, like Dannon, I don't know. But this is really good. And then I pulled out some blackberries to have with all of this. And that's what's going to be for breakfast. I am working on lunch right now, and I thought I would share with you because this again uses food truck hauls. If you recall, each week we would get about 4 of these, and so I've just been putting them aside. But it is time to cycle through them, even though this is not going bad till March 2023. I do have some canned chicken that we have gotten the last couple of boxes, if you remember. I don't remember what I've shared, but anyway, we've gotten some canned chicken, and that has a later date. So I'm just going to kind of cycle through this, and this also helps my family out with lunches. So the reason I'm sharing this is I am doing these low-carb, keto-friendly chicken nuggets that I saw from Weeping Willow Homestead. She had talked about doing those, and I thought that was a brilliant idea because I can make chicken salad easily, and I have, but when you don't, gluten-free bread is pretty expensive, and I don't have any lettuce for not tuna boats, but chicken salad boats or whatever. And I don't have any chips, and I don't have any crackers, and I don't have, so I thought that was a good idea, and I know I can use it as a side and have potatoes and whatnot, but because she mentioned that, and because chicken nuggets are just such a rare thing for our family, I thought this would be a really good recipe to try, and my daughter can have it because it doesn't have any, I'm not trying to do like grain-free, but as we try to figure out some of the issues, she's definitely avoiding grains right now. So this has, it needs 1.5 pounds of meat. So each of these is 4 ounces. So here's 9, here's 18, and it's not quite 1.5 pounds. So I almost need like this many. So for 1 week of getting the 4, and this is with the elderly couple sharing with me, I still would need 2 weeks to make this meal, to make just the 1.5 pounds. So I thought, again, I just thought that was something to kind of point out insofar as like how far this stretches. And if this is only 4.5 ounce and a tuna can is between 5 and 6 ounces, I think it's less now. It used to be 6 ounces. I would still end up using 4 of these to make a lunch. So just wanted to point that out, and I will make lunch and I will show you how that turns out. I think I'd like to try a different recipe next time. But here we go. Here's some chicken nuggets.
It's Tuesday. We're having tacos for Tuesday. So we use salad as our base, and then we put what's left of the sausage or ground beef, and we added Mom added some beans and some onions to it, and then there's some rice for whoever wants it. There was olives in there, corn, salsa, and artichokes, and then for dessert, a blackberry keto. What is this? A blackberry keto coffee cake, and that's what's for dinner. And then dinner was, we put, the 2-pound bags, I put 8 pounds of meatballs into the Crockpot. So 4 of those bags, nobody wanted meatballs. I put 4 of those bags into my big Crockpot here and used the 2 bottles of barbecue sauce, which was good for me to note because those were a little too small for 8 pounds of meatballs, and this is kind of a trial run to make for my husband because he has to bring. So I'm editing the videos and I'm like, I am not explaining myself very well. So the meatballs that we're going to do, and the potatoes that we got to do, and the barbecue sauce we got to do. My husband, for his birthday, with the 2 mamas of the kids I babysit, I took a meal over to the mama that just had a baby of another kid that I babysit. And then the neighbors over there, they got some meatballs as well for their dinner. And And then we had meatballs for dinner plus leftovers because today, a new day, breakfast we had, so breakfast. Today's Thursday, and I said I need to get some editing done. So you guys find what you want for breakfast, have at it. So they found the cereal, the free cereal that I like to save for Sundays. They ate that. They ate more of those Chobani yogurts. I think in last week's what we ate for dinner, Johnny was just eating all the stuff. He was so hungry. Yeah, all of the kids today have been that way, including the ones I babysit who I can barely ever get to eat. It's just one thing after that. I need more food. I need more food. So this warmer weather apparently is causing a growth spurt because that's all they wanted was more and more food. So lunch was all the leftovers we could find. We had leftover taco casserole from Sunday, Mother's Day. We had beans. We had some summer sausage that was given to us. So we kept that up. It was just all the leftovers. Now it is dinner time, and let me show you what we're doing for dinner. So for dinner, on the menus, I have this monthly menu kind of based on what we have and whatnot, but the idea is to make basically a perpetual menu that I can use every single month. So, like, it was too stinking hot to do tortilla soup. Too hot. Tonight is enchiladas, so I have no corn tortillas. So I'm going to do this basically rice enchilada bake. And you make some rice up, so I am using the rest of this quick brown rice that I got in the Aldi haul from my friend. So we're going to use the rest of that up, and I had exactly 2 cups, which is what I need. Do you guys remember me putting all this together for the freezer? So we're going to use some of that chicken meat, which also came from the food trucks. And in here, the one zucchini that you saw last week that had a little bad spot on it, I cut that off. It's in the compost, and the rest of it is in here with some garlic and onion, and I'm going to throw that in even though the recipe I am using does not have it. So we're going to do that and this and this, and I am working on a project. I know I have mentioned this a couple of times, but this project includes a bunch of beans, like 4 pounds of beans, and the Dollar General. So I have, this is to tell me the rice is done, and the rice is not quite done. We're going to do 2 more minutes. Okay, so since I have these beans and it needs refried beans, I am just going to take what I have here, if I can open these, and I'm going to mash them up, and we're going to have some refried beans right here. You can also use an immersion blender to make it, but that works better with a bigger bowl and hot things. You can also throw in the blender, blah blah blah. But that's how I'm going to do this, and I will show you what it looks like when it's all put together. Okay, this made a lot. So this is the 9x13 that it calls for. And here's an 8x8 as well. So I will probably either put the other one in the freezer for another day. My son came in and said, oh, can I take that over to the neighbor where he's working right now? So that's another possibility. But either way, I really wish I had avocado to serve this with. I think that would be amazing. And for those that see the cheese, my daughter is going to have some chicken that she basically sauteed up yesterday. She kind of just has a portion set aside for her. So she's got some chicken. She has some greens and some rice that she can eat. So that's what we'll give her. And this is what's for dinner. I don't even know where we left off with meals. So I have been in the garden pretty much for the last 3 or 4 days for about 7 to 8 hours a day, full days. Come in, do some things, go out, do other things. So a lot of what we've been eating has just been convenience foods. So the granola that I purchased, they ate the granola. The yogurts that we got from the food trucks, they've been having granola, or the yogurts from the for those all for breakfast. For lunch, and a lot of times even for dinner, it's been whatever you can find in the fridge, with the exception of last night. Last night I pulled out some of that Impossible meat ravioli, so it's fake meat. And I made two different casseroles. I made a red sauce casserole and I made a white sauce casserole, and they were the red sauce is from my garden, so the spaghetti sauce that I canned last year, we used that. And so basically you just kind of layer some of the spaghetti sauce on the bottom, and then I put a layer of the ravioli, then I shredded some zucchini on top, then I did a little bit more red sauce, ravioli, a little bit zucchini, and then on the top layer I did most of it cheese, not all of it, because I wanted my daughter to have a little bit. And then, which I don't think she did, I think she still had some chicken that she had pre-cooked and ended up eating that, which is probably the best thing, because I'm pretty sure this has soy in it. Anyway, so she did that, and then the white sauce was just basically Alfredo, spinach, ravioli, and layered up that way. So we could try to get a lot of that meat out of my freezer, because I need my freezer space, and those aren't our favorite. So it's just going to take a little bit of time to get rid of. So that's pretty much what we had. Oh no, Friday night. I did make something Friday night. Friday night we didn't actually have enough leftovers. I needed to just throw something quick for dinner. Friday night I always buy that kielbasa, pretty inexpensive and cheap, and have it as a emergency meal, and Friday night was that emergency meal. So I took the zucchini and the yellow squash and an onion, and I sauteed all that with some garlic. I put the kielbasa in there, and we served it over rice. I like to add Italian diced tomatoes, but I left the tomatoes out this time, and I just put pesto on top of mine with some sauerkraut, because that's how I like it too. Always sauerkraut. And that was a quick and easy dinner for Friday night. And I don't even remember if we shared Thursday, so that was probably leftovers, because again, trying to just keep the momentum going with all of my gardening. So today is Sunday. Sunday for breakfast we did yogurts again. For lunch we went to Walmart afterwards, because my husband has to do, he doesn't have to, but tomorrow my husband has to take lunch to work, so I talked to the guy and I need to make sure that I have enough for 15 adult men at work. So I wanted to get more veggies for a vegetable plate, which turned into a $200 grocery trip of other things that we need to stock up on, like paper, like other expensive things. So he needed certain gloves for work that was like $30. Why are gloves so stinking expensive? Anyway. Yeah, that did not get filmed, but I had all the vegetables for that, and we picked up on there some of these little, they're the Cheesecake Factory buns, the little tiny ones, so they have wheat, but we picked up some of those because I had some lunch meat, so we just put some lunch meat with it, and then my daughter just wrapped up some lunch meat, I think even in a corn tortilla, I don't remember, and she just ate that for lunch. Rice. So that's kind of what we did. Then for dinner, today is my husband's birthday, so he grilled some chicken thighs, which is my favorite thing, so that was sweet. But he got some steak in there. I had this little tiny package of steak that I found on clearance, so I was like, here you go. And we have some potato wedges that we're going to have. This one has cheese on it. We have another batch that doesn't have cheese on it, or Parmesan cheese. We're just going to go have some corn, some grilled zucchini. Again, another of my favorites. It's my favorite. And all of that. So, catch you soon.